Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my loadout and how I've weathered it and made it look more used than it actually is. I'm running a G&G, what is it, Raider Commando, whatever. You get it on eBike. Good website, by the way. I encourage you to check out their channel. It's just Evic TV, or Evic. People say it differently. It's actually supposed to be Evic, but Evic is the spelling. It's someone's name, not just a company name. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my Full Metal M4. I intended for it to look like a standard issue M4, so I've had some numbers and such put on it to know which parts are mine and such, like the upper receiver versus the lower receiver, if they ever separated. They're both 16, so I can tell the handguard is labeled 16 as well. Also the mock suppressor 16, both the sights. So everything on this gun matches. You can't really tell right here on the stock. It doesn't say it on the outside because it's not necessary, but on the back of it, 16, 16. So, 16. So if you've got one of those guys at your field that likes to steal parts and you think you see your part and he's like, no man, no, it's my part. No, I've got the same gun. Yeah, sure you do. Did you write 16 on all your stuff? No, you did not. So that's this. I went over it with a tan Krylon, and then after that used some netting that I found in my garage. It's just like this, actually it's mosquito netting. I probably have a little bit of it laying around, but I'll make another video on how to do that and what netting I've used. And so I've actually weathered it down a little bit. It's better on this side. I got a little carried away on the other side, but this side it's just slight weathering up along the rail. The rails are all weathered down. The handguard or rail system is weathered. The sights are a little bit too, harder to tell because this one was originally tan. So, suppressor, just normal like building scratch weathering from popping out of corners and stuff. Most of that is actually legit weathering. I only did some stuff on the suppressor because I knew that it would end up chipping away anyway as I ran it up along the sides of buildings, peeking out of corners and stuff. You guys might not do that, so you might want to do a heavier job on the suppressor itself, but it's not a huge deal. I also left the pistol grip not unpainted because your hand covers it anyway, and if you're actually going for like a true camo thing, you don't normally paint the handguard or the grip because you don't want to have the paint rub off in your hands. It does kind of sort of go against the look of the weatheredness of the whole gun, but I don't really care because I'd rather not have paint come off of my mechanics gloves the entire time. The magwell, I went through a little bit. You can see there's some silver metal, undermetal showing through there. I did not get any paint on the inside of the magwell and actually taped off the entire inside of it because I had a problem with that the last time. I did it to one of my other guns and I forgot to tape off the magwell, and even just having no tape on the inside here and getting a little bit of paint inside there, the mag didn't fit, and so I took like maybe an hour and a half trying to sand it without losing some of the essential ridges in there that keep the mag from wobbling. So, Alright, enough of that. Just a quick view. The whole back area, charging handle, stuff that you're going to be looking at. So you'd probably be looking at it like that, or if you're lefty, like that. Just kind of something to keep in mind. Another thing I have up here is the mag that came with it, which is a high cap. I believe it's 350 rounds high cap. It's a full metal one, so it's fine, it works. I don't use it very much because you get the high cap BBs rattling, and I prefer to not be heard and shot as I run through the field, personal preference. But you can see I did a weathering job on there too. Though it might not be completely accurate weathering as to what like a mag would have. This was kind of my test for my rifle, because I wouldn't want to just paint that whole thing and then go, oh, well that looks like crap. So I did it on the mag instead, considering I don't use it anyway. I've actually started to use it more in CQB games because I've realized that I'm letting loose many more strings of shots now and then. And then I have, I did a video on this earlier anyway. I don't like these mags. I'm doing this for the sake of the weathering video. And my loadout video, my current loadout video, I've actually ordered 75 round P-Mags by Magpul, and they're coming in the mail. The only downside of the ones that I ordered is that they are OD green and do not match anything in my loadout, but they're the only ones that were left on evic.com. So, you know, that's what I get. You can always paint your stuff, and it doesn't have to match as long as it works very well. So these I dusted with the same tan that I used to paint the rifle, and so I dusted it with that tan, then used acetone and rubbed over it with acetone, not on a paper towel like some videos tell you to do, because the paper towel will fragment and you'll get those little roly things that come off of it, and it ends up not looking very good in the end. But if you just use a normal like cloth I have over there, you can actually see it sitting on the desk, wait, right there. So I've got my cloth right there sitting on the desk. You just acetone, rub on it where your fingers would normally be. This mag is actually really helpful because there are designated finger slots that it has on it, so you know you would definitely be putting your fingers there. I don't. I change mags with my pull tab, Magpul pull tab, or Mag Assist pull tab. So that's just that, you know, out of the pouch into the gun, out of the gun into the dump pouch. So I'm actually not really touching the mag, but it's all for effect. And so in the gun, it looks like this. And it comes out pretty well. It looks all more or less uniform. You guys probably can't really see it all that well because of the lighting and stuff in here, but to me, and here's the other side, it looks very uniform. The colors match pretty well. It looks like it was around the same area, and all the weathering matches pretty well. So that's it for that. I'm not going to put it in the high cap because I know it'll eject a bunch of rounds, and so will this, but this one I don't care about. That one's actually loaded. I use that one. This one I don't use anymore, and I'm not going anywhere to do airsoft until I get my new mags in, because like I said, these will fire 1 in every 5 shots and are not a reliable mag. So many kills that have been lost with these mags that'll be like bang, click, 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 bang, and the guy's running across the building, so I get one shot behind him, then one shot like way behind him after he's behind the building. There's no point in these mags, do not get them. Okay, so that's really it for all my weathering stuff. I haven't weathered anything else but my goggles, and I don't even use those goggles anymore because I made them myself and they kind of suck. So leave comments, you know, tell me anything I can do better, did wrong, do you want a better camera angle? I don't really care what it is, just let me know. If you guys want videos on anything different, let me know as well. Anything that you'd want to know about this gun, the internals and stuff. I'll be posting more videos as soon as I get a field cam 2 about actual in-game play. So be sure to like and subscribe, as is the cliched thing that almost every YouTuber says, and have a good one.